What up?
Terrence!
How we doing?
Good, how are you, man?
I am surviving these crazy times right now. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah.
doing good. Trying to survive as well.
Mm-hmm. Crazy times.
Yeah.
I
Thanks
am
for
so
coming
glad.
on.
I'm glad to be on here with you, Pastor Justin. I am. I am.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many years have you been at NYC?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Last year I was trying to count it out, and I want to say I have been at NYC for 7 years in a row, 8 years in a row. And then
Wow.
I took a break at the very beginning. So I've been at NYC 9 times. And if we have NYC this year, which I'm sure we will, I haven't officially been asked, but if it does happen, that'll be 10 times being the MC. I'm
What?
getting old.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
You,
crazy. When I started,
you're
I did not
dedicated.
have gray hair. So it's going to be really weird.
You have gray hair now?
Dude, don't you see the gray hair coming
No,
in and a little like gray over here and over here? This is
I
why
don't
I
see
need to
it.
get a haircut because it's starting to come in. And
Dude, I
I,
cut my
I
hair.
have a vision of all these black people going to the barber right when we get out of quarantine. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Mhm.
Have you tried to cut your own hair?
Oh, gosh, no. No. That would be terrible. Do you cut your own hair?
Yeah, I
Do you
tried.
really?
Yeah.
It looks
Yep.
good. I actually do.
Thanks.
I think it looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
How'd you like line it up and everything? You actually did a really good job.
oh, thanks, man. It's pretty easy. Have you tried to?
Yes. It
Okay.
does not go
And
well.
it messed up. Okay, you messed up your hair?
Oh yeah. There is a couple years I had to go bald because of what I did to myself. It's
What?
ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It was bad. Right.
That's insane. Um,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever grown a beard?
You know what? So at the beginning of this, I was gonna treat this whole thing like no shave November, but then I got like 3 weeks in, and my wife was like, "Nope, we ain't doing that. You need to cut that." And so, no, I have not grown a full beard. If you would have caught me the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was coming in, but then I gotta still look sexy for my wife, so I cut that out.
Oh yeah. Which you
Oh
do. I mean, I think I don't know. I won't go there. Anyways,
yeah.
so you've been doing NYC for like a long time. You're like every year at NYC for the past
Oh,
going on 10 years. It's awesome.
mm-hmm.
Um, I love just everything that you're doing with um, all the school stuff
Oh man.
and
Yeah.
everything you're doing with school stuff. And I saw that you were like filming some school assemblies or something.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the situation. Every time I say that, I always think of a Will Smith song. But here's the situation. So when this all started, like obviously for me, it was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do financially. I was just like lost. But then also at the same time, it was like, man, there are going to be so many students that maybe for them, their parents still have to work, but they're going to be at home by themselves. And it was just like, what do I do? How can I help? And then my wife and I were sitting around, we are like, I wonder if it's ever been pulled off like a live school assembly, like a stream of a school assembly. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know. Is that a good idea, bad idea? I don't know what to think about that. And so I threw it out there with this organization I work with. I was like, can we do that? And so one day they called me and they're like, hey, we got a school book for you for a live stream. And I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. I just threw it out there as an idea. I didn't say, let's go and jump on this. And
Yeah.
so we did one and it went all right. And then we did a second one. And like, it was cool to just see students texting and like questions as I'm doing this assembly and showcasing videos. And so we took some polls during it. Yeah, it's actually started. I have 2 next week and then 2 the other week. So it's been kind of like this snowball thing where I didn't even see it coming, but it just happened. And for this time, God really implemented, like put it on my heart. And if you've heard me say this before, then I apologize for everybody out there. But God really put it on my heart that this time was, I'm not a victim of this situation. And I shouldn't treat myself like a victim. But this is a moment where God is saying, I'm calling you to do what you do, but do it new. And to really like think through, okay, I'm not just going to coast with what God has given me, but I'm going to actually do something with it. And so
Yeah.
now it's created this whole thing where I'm just like, yeah, God, what's next? And
Yeah.
well, this is not a time to mourn, but a time to celebrate, because now we're all getting new stuff. And God is, I mean, for Matt, nobody's done like lunch chat, but now it's happening. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
really
been good.
good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know there's been some new stuff that we've been doing too. Well, like this lunch break with a special guest, such as you right now.
Woo,
And
come
it's
on.
really funny because I'm seeing all these people coming in, but they're all your followers.
All
I've only seen a few students of Maranatha Youth.
right. Where you at, Maranatha Youth? Come on, jump on here.
Come on, Maranatha Youth. If you are from Maranatha Youth, comment in there. Or why don't you just comment how you know Terrence, where you saw him at. If you have any questions, maybe post them on there. We do have one question from one of our student leaders at Maranatha Youth,
Yeah.
from a senior from Bailey Bowerix. If you're watching, Mari, you're here. And
What
so Bailey wants to know. Actually, let me pull it up on my.
just leaves. You back? Okay.
Okay, so Bailey wants to know when was it solidified that you were called to do what you're doing?
Ooh. I think,
And you
man,
go
Bailey,
however deep you want.
that's a great question. I haven't really thought about that moment where it was solidified. I think maybe for me it was a moment of like, yeah, I guess solidify is a great, yeah, let's go with solidify. So I was doing this assembly, and it was one of the first times I got to do a school assembly, and I'll never forget. Oh yeah, this is a good story. Okay, now I got you. So I was supposed to do a school assembly. I don't know if anybody knows Joe Kessler, but back in the day, there was a guy. He was a comedian. His name is, I shouldn't say back in the, he's still alive now, but Joe Kessler, and I was supposed to do one with Reggie Dabbs. And so I was just supposed to like be there to watch and to check things out. And so it started probably about 9 o'clock in the morning at this school. They were all excited about Reggie Dabbs coming. They're all like, "Oh, all right." And so it was probably 20 minutes before the assembly started. Reggie gives us a call and he's like, "Hey, my plane, I'm still stuck in Europe, and so I won't be able to make it." And then they turned to me and they're just like, "Terrence, you're up." And I was like, "What?" I was like, I've never done an assembly by myself. What am I supposed to do? And so I'm trying to put everything together. And right when the assembly started, the principal comes up and she's just like, "Hey, everybody, I know you guys were excited about Reggie Dabbs coming, but he's not able to be here. But instead, we have Terrence Talley." And one kid in the back goes, "Terrence who?" And I was like, "Oh, yep, here we go." And so I did it, and I did whatever I had, the little stories I tried to put together. And I did like 30 minutes. And after I got done, the guy that was with me, the Youth Alive director, Richard Baker, he pulled me to the side and he was like, okay, you need to fix this, you need to change that, and you need to do this differently. And my friend Joe Kessler, he finally came and he goes, that means he likes you. And so that was one of those moments that even at one of my worst, I was still able to do what God called me to do. And it was there where I was like, okay, God, maybe, and it wasn't that I was good or I was bad, but I think it was just God was still working through me despite my shortcomings. And despite maybe the things I thought I was good at, God still pulled through. And it was in that moment where I was like, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so,
Dude,
boom.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So when was that in congruence to Secrets Anonymous?
Ooh, so Secrets Anonymous, that we kicked that off probably about 4 years ago, where we were just sitting around one day and somebody wrote me a message. So a lot of times after the school assembly, students were like, write me their secrets and write me things that they're going through. And so I read this story about this guy. He sent me this letter saying that his uncle had molested him. And him being a guy, he couldn't tell anybody. And he's like, I hate myself and I hate that I can't talk to anybody about this. And I'm just glad that you came to my school, because he was like, for the first time, I wasn't ashamed of myself. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading this and I'm like, I can't believe like this kid has to go through this alone. And yeah, maybe he can't tell his own story. Maybe he doesn't want his name to be known, but he definitely wants to know that he's not alone. And so I was like, we have to do something with this story. And so it's like, we should do Secrets Anonymous. Now, it wasn't like all of a sudden we had every single idea, but the idea came where it's like, we need to put a book together of secrets for students. And then everything kind of rolled since then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It
Well,
was.
I know when I read the book.
Oh, yeah.
When I read the book, it was just mind blowing, because just hearing people's stories and what people are going through, and there's, you might hear bits and pieces of people's stories, in person or whatever that are similar, but just hearing people what they've been through, is eye opening.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you guys haven't read the book yet, and I'm not saying like go buy my book, but Justin,
Go buy it.
You are in the book, Justin. He wrote something for me, so don't read it for me. Go and read what Justin wrote. It's good, and I am forever like grateful that you were able to do that. And so,
oh my gosh,
forget the rest of the book. Just read the beginning with Justin, and then you can push
dude,
the rest of the book.
That was that's insane. That I'm in your book. The little bit, very very awesome. Very honored to be there. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. There were people where I was like, I don't know what to do, and they're just like, well, you can need to have somebody like what's the word I'm looking for? Just be able to write a recommendation for the book. And literally, you were the first one, because you just supported it and you just were excited about it. I was like, I need Justin to do this. Pastor Justin needs to do this. And so.
Oh, man. Dude, it was so crazy, because I remember when you texted me, hey, can you recommend my book or write a review? And I totally thought you meant on Amazon. And so I was like, yeah, for sure, man. I don't have the book. I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll, let me know whenever it's out. I'll buy it, or, whatever. And so all of a sudden your publisher called me and was like, hey, this is Terrence Talley's Red Hat publisher.
Oh, Orange Hat.
Orange Hat. And so he gave me your name and number for this review. And I was just like, wait a second, this isn't an Amazon review? And she's like, no, this is for the book. And I'm like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just like, what? Oh, I was like, yeah, Justin, that's what I'm asking you to do. I was like, forget Amazon. I want you in the book. I want you.
Well, the book is awesome, for real.
Oh, thank you. anytime like somebody says anything about it, I feel guilty because I'm like, I personally don't feel like I wrote the book. I literally just pulling stories from students, and maybe some of you are on here right now that have just wrote me, and just I was just like, I want to be able to tell their story, because I didn't want I don't want to be a hoarder of my platform. And everybody, I remember just a lot of people, I heard a speaker one time and he's like, you got to protect your platform. And I was like, I don't want to protect it. I want to give it away, because I steadily want to remind myself that this is not about me. And God didn't give me a gift so I can feel good about myself and be like, I have purpose in my life. But it was really like, I want to help people, and I want this person. You're not a stage person, but it's like, hey, I will be that stage for you. If you need me to speak for you, I will definitely do that, because I might not be able to be Moses for the time, but I can definitely be an Aaron, and I can definitely be that person that's like, okay, I'm going to help you out. I want to speak for you. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. Appreciate that about you.
Oh, I do. I love doing it. I love just being up there, and there have been a lot of crazy moments and crazy situations. Like, okay, so I don't know if this is where you want to go with it, but I'm just going along with it.
Yeah.
So there is this this school that I was at, and at the beginning of the assembly, I'll usually like pull teachers up to dance. They don't know they're dancing until like I start the music and everything starts going. So I'm like, hey, students, point out some teachers that are going to help me dance. And so they're pointing out. And so I pull them up on stage. But then there is this group of boys. And they're like, oh, you need to pick him. And I look at this teacher. He's like, nah. And I'm like, sir, come on, get up out of your seat. You got to come down here and dance. And he's like, no, really. And I was like, dude, I am not going to move on until you come down here. And he goes, all right. And he starts wheeling himself down to the stage. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I don't know what to do now. And so he gets up on stage, and this teacher looks at me like, what up? What are you going to do? How are you not going to embarrass yourself at this point in time? And so I was just like, all right, everybody do the shoulder rock. There we go. You don't need legs for this. Everybody can move their shoulders. And so there's so many crazy things that happen during an assembly that I just love being able to just go with the flow. And everybody is always just like, well, you have to like plan everything out and just, right? You just go with what the plan is. And honestly, every assembly is different. I might tell the same stories, but those stories are going to be told in a different way. They could be told in a different order, because at that moment of time, I'm trying to ask, like, okay, God, what do you want me to do right now? What students need to be affected? And stories can change, not just by, I'm not saying I lie through a story, and I'm not saying like I change different parts, but you can change a story by just changing your voice during it, slowing it down, speeding it up, which words you're going to emphasize. And so throughout that whole thing, that's to hit at least one student, because one student may need to like have that big notion of, hey, and this happened to this person, and this person wanted to take their own life, and I need to slow down that part so that one of those students can sit there and say, that's me. Or I might need to go really hard on the point of, but somebody came in and they gave them that hug, and a student needs that, and they're like, yes, like slow down on that. Let me feel that love and that encouragement. And so, yeah, I just love just being able to be up there and be able to tell those stories, and to just really how everything is always different. And so I love it. It's great.
Well, let's go to some questions. So Awesome Pooty said that
Wait, who?
Awesome Pooty is his name.
I love it. Awesome Pooty. Let's do this.
He said, remember when you went to Spencerville?
Yes and no.
You don't remember Awesome Pooty from Spencerville?
You know what? I'm trusting that that's not their real name, because if anybody was named Pootie, I would have definitely remembered that. Like, oh yeah, Pootie. What up, Pootie? But I kind of remember Spencerville. See, some students, they don't realize, like, don't get me wrong, your school, you are special. And when I am there, I am giving you 100%. I am there with you. You're getting the
Yep.
best that Terrence has ever been at your
Yep.
school right there. Now, with that being said, once I'm gone, it's not like I'm like, skip that school, I'm done with them. But there's another school to go to, and there's another school that I have to give my best. And so I remember the name Spencerville, but I don't necessarily remember the if somebody was to tell me, hey, this is what happened, I remember it, because there are a lot of things that happen where I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that. But
Yeah.
Pootie, I'm sorry. You should have introduced yourself as Pootie, and I would have remembered.
Okay, so somebody said that they seen you at higher middle school. Mari
Higher?
at yep.
Okay.
Higher with an H.
Oh, okay.
Higher. What's up?
Come on.
All right, Mari asked, where are you from?
I originally am from Burnsville, Minnesota.
Burnsville.
That is my hometown. That is Burnsville Blaze. Come on. And so I'm originally from Twin Cities, Minnesota, but now we live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I feel a little ashamed of that, though, because I am a Minnesota Viking fan to the core. There's nothing that will ever change that. And so everybody always assumes, oh, you're from Milwaukee, you must love the Packers. No, I do not love the Packers, okay? Minnesota Vikings all the way. But now,
Packers.
Are you a Packer fan?
No, I said
Okay.
to the Packers.
Okay. That's right. I was like, oh, Justin, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's right. No Packers.
Okay, Terrence, I totally miss being city neighbors, because we lived really close to Milwaukee, just for a little bit of time, but it was nice to have dinner at your house and stuff. And
Oh,
did you
man.
guys move since then?
So what?
Did you get a new house since then? Since I suppose I can't remember when.
No,
Did you
I
move
think
to-
you guys were here, because I
Oh,
remember
okay.
we had to make sure they didn't go upstairs because we were afraid that your baby was going to fall down the steps.
The
So,
stairs, yeah.
yeah. So no, we lived in the same place. But before we moved, we actually went to your guys' place too.
In
So,
Shoreview.
hey, thanks for letting us over for dinner.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to share that story. So
Yeah.
Terrence and his family came over. It was awesome. We had dinner, and this is a testament to how amazing Terrence is. So we had under a 1-year-old who had diapers on. Elta wasn't old enough to be powder changed. Still was wearing diapers, and so she was crawling around, and her diaper ended up ripping open, and poop went all over the floor. So all of a sudden, Terrence is like, "Hey, just you have some poop on the floor or whatever." So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep sorry about this, guys. This is really embarrassing because we're having friends over for dinner." All of a sudden, Terrence comes and kneels down next to me and starts picking up the poop off the floor with me. And I'm just like, Terrence, you don't have to do this.
I'm not gonna watch a brother pick up poop by himself. That's crazy. And so, of course, I'd pick up poop with you anytime, Pastor Justin. Anytime.
Awesome Pootie. Awesome Pootie.
Come on, Pootie.
Okay, so Mari also asked, what's the best thing you've done during quarantine?
Ooh, best thing I've done since quarantine. That's a great question. Holy smokes. What is the best thing I've done? My family and I, we had a Nerf gun fight, and that was awesome. I got to shoot my baby in the face with a Nerf gun, so that was awesome.
I think I can picture that.
I don't know. The days have all run together. I feel like I've been living today for the past couple of months. Like this is it. This is my life. But yeah, that probably was it. The Nerf gun fight. Yeah. And then we visited. Was that a yay? I,
Oh,
I, thought, I thought I heard some cheering, like, yay! I was like, yeah, Nerf gun. But we have been the Target for like a billion times, and going to Target's always fun.
oh yeah. And do you guys wear face masks?
Yes and no. We started wearing hey, look at that. It's the Fury family. Come on. Is your wife playing the piano?
Yep.
Terrence,
Hey, how we doing?
I miss you, buddy. It's great
I
to
know,
see
right?
you.
It's been way too long.
I know. I'm working from home and wrangling the children while you guys are talking.
I understand that. I've heard those cries before. I will be praying for you guys.
Thank you. There's no poop on the floor though. That's good. All right. So one person says, "How you doing, Terrence? This is Martin, your best friend. I'm
Of
Adam's
course.
dad. Remember when you spoke at New Country School? And of course, we always go to NYC. Woot woot!
Come on. New Country School. You would think I would remember a name like that. And did they say where it's at?
No, they did not.
Oh, New
But
Country
I
School.
believe this person might be in Minnesota.
Yeah, it sounds like if they go to NYC, they're definitely from Minnesota. Yeah. I don't know. I would have to think about that. If somebody gave me where the school is, I would probably remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you go to so many schools and hear so many. I mean, not only go to different schools all over the place, but you are hearing of different schools, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. You probably have to. You have a. What am I trying to say here? You have to remember people's names and schools and which city they're in. That's crazy. That'd be not to remember.
Man, there have been times where people have come up to me and they're like, "Hey, what's my name?" And I'm like, it's not that you're not special. It's not that I don't like you. I just don't remember your name. And there have been times I don't even remember my own name. So I'm like, I can't help you. You're awesome. I'm going to call you awesome because that's what you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think over the course of my time doing this, I have probably been to, I want to say, maybe 2,000 schools.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe over the course of these last 10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
That might be a huge exaggeration. I'm not sure. I know that I've spoken to over 750,000 students. I do know that.
Wow.
Now that is, maybe I've gone back to some of the same schools or whatever, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Devin Johnson says, I love it when you came to Irondale. Thanks for that. Let's see here. I'm just going down the comments. Braden Davenport. You went to North Central, right?
I did go to North Central. Yes. If you do not know North Central, that is the school that you and I both graduated from, right?
Yep.
And North Central is in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it was awesome. My time at North Central, I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for going to North Central University. And there, I just met people. So what?
You're the student body president, right?
I was the first student body, the first black student body. I was the first black president before Obama was president, okay? So I led the way for him, all right? Yeah. And so I was there, and even becoming student body president, that was huge for me. And just everything that happened to me at North Central, it changed my life. And just having the people speak into my life and being student body president, I remember the guy I ran against, so I'm not going to say his name because his dad's a pastor. Yeah. But I remember the guy I was running against, and he was one of those people. He was on the student activities committee or for all you North Centralized, SAC. And he was the head of that, and people just loved him. Loved him. And like, to me, I don't think he liked me very much. And I wasn't like the super like activities guy, but I ran our chapel, our student-led chapel. And I was kind of like that guy. I was kind of like, oh yeah, he's going to pray for us type of guy. And so as the couple of months were going on, we're about to have the vote for student body president. I remember I'm sitting in one of my mentor's office, and I'm like, I'm going to lose. I am going to lose this thing. Everybody loves him. He has this great plan. Nobody's going to want to vote for me. And I remember my mentor, he looks at me and he goes, Terrence, then how do you want to go out? Do you want to go out already thinking you're defeated? Are you going to go into this doing what you want to do and doing it how you want to do it? And whether you win or lose, you still got to be you. And I was like, yeah, I'm going out. I was like, I don't care if I lose. I'm just going to go into this. And so I ended up winning. It was crazy. It was a really weird experience.
Yeah.
Come on.
Remember, I think you were probably a year or two ahead of me, and so you were an upperclassman and student body president. So it's awesome. Braden also wants to know, what was your major and minor, if you had one?
Yeah, so my major was pastoral studies, and so I didn't like a lot of people would think I went into youth, but I didn't, because I didn't know if I was going to do youth or not. And so I got pastoral studies, and then I got a minor in leadership. Yeah, and they've been used, so I'm like, yeah, money well spent.
That's awesome.
And I'm almost done paying off my student loans. Almost. Now, if you ask me, I graduated in 2008. So what are we talking about? 12 years? 12 years ago, I graduated, and I am now almost done paying off my student loans. So kids, if you're going to college, you need to save up some money, okay? I know for me, I wasn't a guy that walked into school with like all this money and was just like, yeah, I'm going to pay for school right now. I literally, when I came to school, I had no idea how I was going to pay for anything. And I was just like, yep, I'm not going to get through this. I'm just going to take it a semester at a time. And man, God brought me through, and I graduated. But I graduated with debt, so I had to work. But it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine being debt-free, because loans. Allison and I are still. Allison and I both graduated from North Central, and you guys did too. So we have an enormous amount of debt that we're still paying back for North Central, but God's always provided, so it's been awesome.
Right. Well, hey, everybody out there, I'm telling you right now, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and if you just do what you're supposed to do and work when you're supposed to work, because you are not called to just not work. You are called to be able to go out there and to be responsible for what's been given to you. And so God will take you through. And now, after 12 years, there is light. But now I have kid debt. And kid debt doesn't leave until they're 18 years old. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
How old are your kids?
My oldest, Gracie, she is 7. And my youngest, Cece, she is 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So
my
it's
gosh.
crazy times at our house.
Man, you guys are almost in double digits.
You know what? I can't believe that. Like, for me, even, sometimes I don't believe I'm an adult, okay? Like, I remember being a kid. I remember going to class at North Central and, like, telling myself, you know what? I'm just going to sleep in past noon because that's what I choose to do. I remember all those things. So the fact that I have a kid that's about to be 10 years old is just mind-blowing to me. Especially when they look at me and they're like, well, Dad, what's the answer to this? Or Dad, are we going to go on vacation? And I'm like, I don't know. Are we going on vacation? Who's taking us on vacation? I don't know. And so it's really weird.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'm just getting this tripod ready just so we can close in a song.
Ooh, come on.
When the oceans rise and you need the
Yeah. Thank you,
Lord.
Lord. There was a moment there where I thought you were being serious, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, this is gonna be awkward, but that's cool. That's cool. I'll roll with it."
That's awesome.
Hmm.
Well, any parting wisdom for everybody out there?
Yeah, I would just encourage everybody. Like, this is really, really easy to go into that drama or that sadness pool, and that feeling of everything is terrible, and I don't. This is bad, and this is a waste. And there are some things that some of us won't be able to get to do. And my heart goes out to all those seniors in high school. But remember, the more you jump into this pool, then the sinker you're going to sink. And so I would just encourage everybody, when you start to get that bad feeling, or when you start to mourn your own losses, grab onto those things once again, that it's like, okay, what am I going to do new? When something dies, something new has to come, or else it truly is dead. And
Yeah.
so what is it that needs to grow? Well, how can you start to water that new thing, that new dream? Because this is the time right now. This is the time that nobody's been through this. Nobody knows how this is going to get through. And I know for me, I've never seen somebody do a live stream assembly. And it was just like, all right, we're going to try it, whatever. And now it's working. And so, yeah, do something new. Be creative. Especially people are coming up with some crazy things. And I'm like, you guys are way more creative than I can do. I have no idea. Especially like these dances. You guys are great. Keep on doing that.
I can outdance anybody on TikTok.
I would love to see that. I definitely would love to see that.
You would not.
No, I would. I would.
Well, thanks for being on with us. Thanks for spending some time and sharing about your life and everything that God's doing in your life.
Oh, man.
Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Love you.
All right. You too, man.
All right.
Peace
Bye.
out, everybody.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Every Friday, we're going to do a Friday lunch break at 12 o'clock. It's 12:30. It's going to be, is Vita on here? I don't think Vita's on here. Let's see. She said that, yeah, Vita's not on here right now. I'll ask you, though. So I just asked Nikki or Brenna.
Ah!
What's up?
I didn't want to do that. It asked me something, and then I was like, what did I just do?
I feel like horrible. Okay,
How's
ask
Google?
Vida. She does.
Vita's not on.
Oh, well, ask Eden then.
Eden's not on, I don't think, either.
I don't know.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Okay, didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Well, wait a second. Now you guys are on here, so might as well, talk to you guys.
Oh, hi.
Brenna, how's school going?
Good.
She's doing school. In her bed. In her jammies.
Nice.
And we were listening to the interview. It was awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully we asked some fun questions.
Yeah, it was good.
Brenna, how are you liking school online?
It's okay. I like the face-to-face context. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you like to, probably screw off with the teachers? I'm just kidding. Just be a rebel.
But she can do it in her jammies, so that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
And in my bed. My bed is my favorite place.
Oh, nice. Closet. Peaceful place.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Brenna?
Oh, there's our baby.
Oh, out
Who's on?
Brenna.
Yep. Do you have any questions for Brenna?
Hi, Miss. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Like FaceTime.
I can't wait to squeeze you when we see you.
Mom, we can't. It's 6 feet apart.
Well, when we are done.
Yeah. So this stuff, this TikTok or not TikTok. Okay, I love you. Are you gonna go to bed? Elta, please don't touch that, okay? There's a huge setup here that she likes to screw around with, but so this is gonna be on YouTube, or actually it's on YouTube right now if you didn't know. So if anybody doesn't if anybody doesn't have social media,
You had to scroll around.
It asked me to do a button, and I'm kind of new to this thing.
So then you don't press the button.
I do- Oh crap! Look at that. Brenda, you're famous.
I don't.
you're famous. Woo woo woo!
Hilarious. This is
Okay, so what's the picture on your wall behind your mom?
My great grandpa.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
He just passed a couple months ago
Mm-hmm.
in November,
Mm-hmm.
and then so I just keep him right there.
Oh.
And then these are our friends. They live in Montana.
No.
Wrong California, wrong people.
Okay.
And then that's my puppy calendar.
Nice.
So
All right.
Was that calendar originally Austin's? You can tell the truth.
No.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try to get off.
All right. Fine. All right. Does anybody else want to go live with us? Just let us know. Oh, requests. I don't know who Katie is. Let's see. Oh, unable to join. She requested and then she left. All right. Well, you guys, thanks for coming in. Miss you guys. Miss all the students out there. You are loved. We miss you so much at church. We miss seeing you every week, if not more. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And see you after COVID. Be sure to tune into church on Sunday. Whether it's Maranatha Church or if you don't go to Maranatha Church,